Hey guys, alright? Welcome everyone. In an abandoned farm, a terrifying humanoid monster slowly emerges. Its dry body appeared very weak, struggling with every movement. However, after consuming some worms on the ground, it regains its strength and comes back to life. This monster is none other than the legendary Immortal creeper. After 23 years, the horrifying creeper awakened once again, starting another bloody hunt lasting 23 days. The first to fall victim is a young man driving a sports car. Needing to relieve himself, he heads into the depths of the forest, unaware that he has become the creeper's prey. After a hearty meal, the creeper is fully rejuvenated. He then finds his beloved big truck, grabs his iconic battle axe, and officially begins his massacre. Meanwhile, the town is hosting a massive monster cosplay event. The event takes place there due to local legends about the creeper, with the organizers deliberately choosing this location. There are rumors that today is the day of the creeper's resurrection, making it the perfect date for the event. Many young people have come from afar, but they all dismiss the creeper's stories as mere myths. Among them are Chase and his girlfriend Lane. People dressed as various monsters dance and celebrate, oblivious to the fact that the real monster is about to arrive. At that moment, a man suddenly bursts into the crowd screaming, with a bloody sword embedded in his body, and he collapses onto a bench, losing consciousness immediately. This shocks everyone present while the medical staff rushes to assist. Brent suddenly stands up, laughing. It turns out it was just a prank. Little does he know that this joke is about to become a terrifying reality. After scaring the crowd, Brent smokes a cigarette and heads into the forest to urinate. The creeper despises such unhygienic behavior, so he appears behind Brent, grabs him by the neck, lifts him up, and hangs him on a metal hook attached to a tree. Before leaving, the creeper doesn't forget to finish him off, launching 2 darts made of human bones, killing him instantly. Meanwhile, Chase and Lane, enjoying some snacks, arrive at a dart-throwing booth. The owner, Stu, patiently teaches Lane how to throw darts, even claiming that these darts were handcrafted by the creeper himself. They thought Stu was joking, unaware that these darts were indeed used by the creeper. Following Stu's instructions, they then get to a major raffle event. The winner of the raffle would have the chance to participate in a special program organized by the hosts, an exciting adventure in a haunted house. It is said that the creeper once resided in that house. The raffle begins, and Chase and Lane are lucky enough to win the grand prize. Exceptionally excited, Chase pulls Lane towards the backstage area, but Lane hesitates to go. Lane has never had such luck before, and the idea of an adventure in a haunted house scares her a little. But Chase ignores Lane's reluctance and drags her forcibly backstage. They discover they need to sign a waiver before starting and that their adventure would be streamed live. This makes Lane even more uneasy, but Chase doesn't think twice and writes his name. Not wanting to spoil the fun, Lane reluctantly signs too. They are then taken to a car heading for the haunted house, with the driver being none other than Stu from the dart booth. However, none of them realize they are already falling into a carefully planned trap set by the organizers. At the same time, the terrifying creeper also sets off in his truck. When Chase and the group arrive at their destination, the creeper appears nearby and fixes his gaze on Chase and Lane. However, the creeper's target is Lane. At this point, the cameraman has already backed away and entered the cemetery, noticing a strange woman dressed in a black cloak. This woman was, in fact, the master of ceremonies for the raffle and one of the organizers behind the scenes. Curious, the cameraman follows her, unaware that danger lurks. Meanwhile, Lane, upset that Chase is too close to the host, angrily enters the cemetery. Chase follows her, trying to explain, but Lane wouldn't forgive him. Finally, Chase reveals his trump card. He takes out a ring he had prepared in advance and proposes to Lane in the cemetery. The moment Lane turns around, she is grabbed by the creeper, who descends from the air and kidnaps her. At this point, with no sign of the others, the remaining group can only search the cemetery. To their horror, they find the cameraman's camera lying on the ground, with bloodstains, which unsettles them. They suspect that the cameraman might have encountered a large carnivorous animal. Standing there confused, Chase comes running frantically and tells them that his girlfriend has been taken by a flying monster. It was then that they realized that the creature that attacked the cameraman wasn't a beast. Desperate to save her, Chase runs in the direction the creature flew, instructing the others to call the police immediately. However, Chase doesn't run far and ends up tripping over something that causes him to fall to the ground. When he turns to see what it was, he discovers it is the cameraman's corpse. The others arrive and witness this horrific scene. Thinking of the danger Lane might be in, they quickly run toward the haunted house. As soon as they enter the hall, the door behind them suddenly slams shut. The door is firmly locked by 3 figures dressed in black. These 3 are the event organizers and fanatical followers of the creeper. They deliberately planned everything to select suitable prey for the creeper, luring them here to offer them up for the creeper to kill. Even the accompanying crew was completely unaware. At this moment, Lane was already firmly tied to a stone slab by the creeper. He looked excitedly at his prey and then, decisively, took a small knife and stabbed Lane in the abdomen. Meanwhile, the trapped group began searching for an exit, only to discover that all the doors and windows were locked. They directed their anger toward Stu, believing he must know something, but Stu, just an employee, insisted he knew nothing. An intense argument broke out among them. In desperation, Stu pulled out a gun and fired it. The sound of the shot reached the creeper, who immediately stopped what he was doing and jumped outside. The immortal being spread its wings, let out a roar, and prepared to deal with the people inside the haunted house. Soon, a knocking at the door broke the silence inside the house. The creeper was trying to get in, terrorizing them, so they quickly ran upstairs. Upon opening a door, they were horrified to find a dismembered corpse hanging from the ceiling. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was Brent, the prankster from the party. Before they could recover from the shock, the creeper burst through the window, flapping its wings. The dark being assessed its prey like a cruel reaper. Seeing this, Stu immediately pulled the trigger, but the creeper, with its immortal body, was not affected by ordinary bullets. The creeper then threw its axe, letting out a shocking scream. Seeing evil approach, Chase quickly grabbed a piece of wood and attacked the creeper, questioning it about the whereabouts of his girlfriend. Meanwhile, the other 3 took the opportunity to open the door, and seeing Chase gradually gaining the upper hand and forcing the creature to retreat, the others quickly pulled Chase away. The creeper finally took a deep breath, decisively discarding its damaged arm, then tore an arm from one of the corpses and began to devour it. Moments later, a new arm grew back. This was the secret to the creeper's immortality. No matter how severe the injury, it could regenerate by consuming human flesh. Meanwhile, the injured Lane, after much effort, managed to grab a nearby dagger and cut the ropes tying her. Freed from the stone slab, Lane also grabbed some darts to protect herself. She noticed an air duct above and used a table as an improvised ladder to escape through the ventilation duct. As she fled, Carrie, unfortunately, got separated from the others. She hid in a room and grabbed her phone to call for help. However, she realized there was no signal. In despair, Carrie could only cry helplessly. Suddenly, the creeper attacks her through the wall, but after sacrificing a handful of her hair, Carrie finally frees herself and quickly ran downstairs. The creeper sniffed Carrie's hair and let out a twisted, malevolent smile. Carrie finally rejoined the remaining group on the first floor. They hid in a room and began discussing how to deal with the creeper. Suddenly, strange noises came from above, terrifying everyone, who went silent as the air duct above them collapsed. Fortunately, it was Lane who fell there. She told the group they needed to leave immediately, otherwise, the haunted house would become their tomb. Without hesitating for a moment, they quickly left the room, intending to escape upstairs. They opened the door to a room and saw a phone. Jamie immediately ran to use it and call the police, but accidentally stepped on a trap on the floor. The excruciating pain in her leg made Jamie scream in agony. Fortunately, the phone was working, and Chase successfully dialed the emergency number. However, before he could say much, the creeper yanked the phone from his hands. The group had no choice but to leave the room and return to the first floor. At this point, they realized that even escaping the haunted house might not save them from the creeper, so they decided to stop running and wait for the police's arrival. But the creeper did not give them a chance to catch their breath. He broke down the first floor door from the outside. The next instant, the others immediately turned and ran, only Carrie was frozen in fear. Carrie struggled to get up and escape but couldn't dodge the hammer thrown by the creeper and was killed instantly. The others could only hide in a nearby room, watching helplessly as Carrie's body was dragged away. When they regained consciousness, they noticed a strange stone behind them, with various items on the table, as if they were part of some mysterious ritual. Together, they pushed the large stone aside and discovered a dark, airy basement. The stench of rotting corpses hit them, and countless bodies in advanced decomposition became visible. It became clear that this was the work of those extreme cultists who had fed live humans to the creeper. This practice was even more horrifying than the creeper itself. Realizing they couldn't just wait, Lane decided to take the initiative. The group of 4 split up, planning to attract the creeper and find a way to kill it. Stu and Jamie would use a bait and, in fear, went upstairs, starting to search for the creeper. They opened a door without knowing that the creeper was hiding behind it. The abomination brutally beat them. Unfortunately, Jamie was killed instantly. Stu was severely injured, but the creeper wasn't in a hurry to kill him. Instead, he calmly put on a vinyl record and prepared to savor the hunt at his leisure. When Stu was knocked down again, he seized a sharp object from the ground and stabbed the creeper in the thigh, then he destroys the record player, hitting the creature. Stu taunted the creeper while escaping, trying to lure it downstairs. The sight of the broken pieces of the record player enraged the creeper, who immediately ran after him. Next, it was Lane's turn to act as bait. As the creeper's chosen prey, she easily captured its attention. Meanwhile, Chase and Stu went upstairs, heading for the roof. They planned to draw the creeper outside and then use a cross to finish it off. The plan went well, and the creeper was lured out. Just as the creeper grabbed Lane, preparing to satisfy itself, Lane quickly pulled 2 darts from behind her and forcefully pierced them into the creeper's head. The pain forced the creeper to release its prey. Seizing the opportunity, Lane stepped back and threw the other 2 darts, hitting the creeper in both eyes. The creeper, blinded, flailed like a headless fly. At that moment, Chase and Stu finally raised the cross from the roof. Seeing that the moment was right, Lane quickly signaled for them to release the cross. The cross hit accurately, impaling the creeper's head and pinning it to the ground. But before they could celebrate, a cloud of crows suddenly darkened the sky and attacked Chase and Stu on the roof. In the confusion, Stu accidentally stepped over the edge and fell to his death. Chase, however, managed to escape back into the haunted house. He rushed to the first floor and pulled Lane inside to avoid the crows' attack. The birds did not follow them inside, instead, they surrounded the creeper. When they looked back outside, both the creeper and the crows had vanished, leaving only the cross on the ground. Chase helped Lane out of the haunted house. 2 police cars arrived late, and the officers led them to the cars. However, the creeper, aided by the crows, had retreated to the basement from which Lane had escaped and was resurrecting once again. It seemed that the 23-day bloodbath was far from over.